Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to share with you some conversation from our recent members only live. We're going to talk about if you had $100,000 sitting on the sidelines at this moment within cryptocurrency and Splinterlands was a place that you believed in, what would you invest in? And there's a suggestion from a member of the audience, then I get into my thoughts. I think you're going to be surprised by my point of focus for what I would look at seriously. I hope you'll stick around for it. And if you do, in the comments below, let me know what are your most exciting components within Splinterlands or cryptocurrency broadly. I'd love to see it. Thanks, guys. Have an amazing day. God bless. Saucy says, if I had 100K, it would be 60% SPS, 10% gems, 10% DC, with the purpose to sell at peg, 10% value land, and 10% gold cards. That's fun. That's fun to think about. If I had 100K, like an extra 100K, I think I would, I think I might, yeah, 50% comes to mind immediately for SPS. Like the huge lion's share goes into SPS. Here's the thing. I don't know if SPS doesn't go down to a penny, but I would DCA with like 50 grand over the next 6 months to 12 months. And then I would take, but gems, I would bite pretty hard on some gems right away. I'd like 1,000 packs probably. What would that be? 1,000 packs. You don't need to buy them from Splint. Okay, you do get the airdrops. I guess you're buying them for $4 a pack or something like that with the DC discount. Could I afford 1,000? $4, 4 grand. Yeah, I'd buy 1,000 packs with the gems. That's 4 grand, right? Yeah. Ooh, that would get you some like a really sexy Riftwatcher collection. DC, I'd definitely fill the bags. I'd get at least 4 million DC because I know I'm going to need 1.5 million to operate my land, and I'm going to want extra DC to buy time crystals, which will then activate my land more rapidly. So then let's say I'm up to 60 grand. I've spent roughly 60 grand. I got 40 grand left. I might buy some really sexy plots of land. Some keep. I don't know what tracts are nowadays, but I might go ahead and get another tract if I had one. I sold my original tract, and I've always missed it. I did the right thing. I'm glad I did that, but I've always missed it. And gold cards are no joke, man. That's like, gold cards have always been one of the most, I mean, when we talked earlier about money, we talked about scarcity. There is 0 gold foil cards for certain amazing cards. Like, I mean, there is none of them almost. And so you start getting into a place where there's such little supply, there's such a high degree of scarcity that you really you list your card and you just ask for whatever you want. And that doesn't mean it sells. But man, when you are like the only person with a certain card, it's pretty interesting watching, you know, like a listing. You look at legendary gold foils. Look at wild. Legendary gold foil cards. How many Angel of Lights are there? There's 1 available Angel of Light. It's a max copy. 20 grand. Let's look at Valnamore. There's 1 available listing. 7,500. It's 1 BCX. Play-Doh. Max copy, 20 grand. These cards are, there is 1 available. Like, I'm not saying I know that's going to sell, but you know that that's like a very appetizing place to be in as a card holder. Like, to have that card and just put it up there and to have no competition. If somebody says, I need to have one more BCX of Valinor gold foil, you're the guy at 7,500 bucks. Like, that's very exciting. And I know that some of the modern cards are not going to be there, but I think there's gold foils are very exciting even from the modern, because these cards are, while they are far more for sort of total BCX available, total cards. Yeah, there's a lot more of this than there are of some of those Valinors, Platos, etc. But man, there is not a lot of these. 23 available cards. This thing is scarce. Very, very scarce. And gold foils have always been like this. And there are certain cards that you know are exceptional. Summoners being definitely part of that picture. Grandmaster Wraith is a card that wins a lot. Astral Entity is a card that wins a lot. Immortalis wins a lot. These summoners are very good, actually. Conqueror Yaskis wins a lot. When Untamed circulates out of the modern, you're going to find that these summoners become, like, they're going to be respected from an elite status that they aren't right now, because they're like the little brothers to like Kitty and Yodin. And so I do believe that long-term investment in gold foil cards is definitely a powerful approach to maximizing what you can do in Splinterlands. There's not nearly enough of them. They have great utility. The utility is not just in the rank experience. Of course, it's in tournaments, it's in guild brawls that you can't participate in without gold foil cards. And that scarcity wrapped with that utility is such an attractive approach. So yeah, if I had 100 grand, I definitely would be taking a big bite at gold foils, but you have to be so careful. This is not a market you can throw money at blindly. This is like a gold foil card market, especially legendaries. What you're talking about is almost like bargain hunting is so key in this space, because you can pay, look at this, $37 is the high bid on the gold foil dragon, 66 is the low buy. So if you want one BCX, you got to pay 66 US dollars. If you want to be patient, place a bid and wait and see, you might get it for half price. And that's one example of how patience is so key with this. You cannot just, if you had 50 grand and you wanted to throw it at gold foil cards, which I think would be an amazing long-term investment. I really, truly do. But man, it wouldn't come. It could not come like overnight. You'd have to be so intentional daily, spending a half an hour, or a couple hours even, just exploring the marketplace, placing high bids, managing those high bids. Because when you bid, you'll get outbid especially by bots. And so that can be annoying. But you have to manage those and just watch and see. And some trades will pull through, and then you can immediately flip too. So that's interesting. Like if you did get one of these cards for 35 bucks and you could sell it for 50, 55, that's an immediate doubling. So that's even interesting. So like this space of Splinterlands asset acquisition and management is deeply exciting long-term and exciting short-term. But it takes deeper pockets, right? You can't come in here with $5-10 bucks. You need probably 500 or 1,000 or more, maybe five or 10,000 to start getting into making the waves that make a lot of sense. And that's part of also why the scarcity of this is exciting, because you need big money players to really you need to be a big money player to even dabble in this. But that means that those who have the big money can have fun, that they have a whole realm to play in that we can't even necessarily touch. And so if you had that money, if you had that vision, I think there's real opportunity that is present in other cards of the game, but is uniquely present in the gold foils, because like I said, it's not just about how good they are. It's about how scarce they are. It's about the utility within the rank experience, but also the guild brawl experience and the tournament experience, all of which can pay really crazy rewards, especially when you start to incorporate the earlier conversation about what SPS might do in the future, and the price appreciations that are possible there could make the returns for a card like this crazy. Tournaments, guild brawls, rank battle experiences, bonuses on your payouts because the gold foil card, etc. Right? Rental profits when you're not using them, they absolutely, because those profits available from the card are sexy. the rental prices get, you know, significantly higher, and especially during a bull market. So definitely, that's a fun comment. Saucy, appreciate you, bro. I'm going to wrap up here, guys, but I see a couple comments. I want to rip through them quickly because it's like of the same nature, and it's like a good place to land. So just on Saucy's comment, if I had 100K, this would be what I would do. Gathering says good strategy. It's like diversification, but it's also a long-term confidence in what we're doing. And Saucy says that, he goes, thanks, Gathering the Magic. I'm long-term bull for SBS, obviously. Don't care if it takes 5 years. Totally agree, says Gathering. And no SPS. Paul says no SPS, all DC, sell at peg, buy more SPS. Then you would have, yeah, that's interesting. If SPS dips between now and then. And I recently was listening to Tales from the Cryptmancer saying that he thinks we will see a dip, and we did just see a dip. But then he expects a tick up as land is launching. So I don't know, maybe you were right and maybe you're not, Paul. The Chaos Legion cards will really shine when Untamed is out of Circ. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this is an exciting moment. I appreciate you guys hanging out for 2 hours today. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Thank you very much. And yeah, I just hope you have an amazing day. And I'm going to try and schedule another live for next week. Next week I'm around. There's no vacation next week, so it should be happening. Hopefully also a public live. So stay tuned for that. Guys, have an awesome day. Bye for now.